Hi, E.T. here. I've got an old story. It's from the Brooklyn Daily Eagle. It goes back to December 11, I think, 1921. Now, this story was never verified, but it's in the paper, and it has the champion, Jack Dempsey, age 27, and former champion Jack Johnson, age 43, actually fighting. It was in a highly financed, nonetheless private, encounter back in December of 21, somewhere in Canada, and Dempsey was reputed to have knocked out Jack Johnson. E.T.'s uploaded a video about that alleged encounter and reported that it probably, never happened. What did happen, it's not a rumor, and should get a lot more publicity, is Dempsey's so-called sparring session, actually a full-out war, with middleweight Harry Greb. Now, it took place at Dempsey's training camp the day before the champion's fight with Billy Miskey. That fight was September 20 at Benton Harbor, Michigan, and it's about a year after Dempsey destroyed Willard for the title. So we're dealing here with a prime Jack Dempsey. Harry Greb had stated publicly that he could win a decision over Dempsey, and it was well known he'd already beaten Miskey, and he'll go on to beat Tommy Gibbons, who would later give Dempsey fits on July 4, 1923. Now here's the story of the sparring session. Dempsey, as was his practice, is training very hard for Miskey, despite knowing he has zero chance of losing to the known to be ill Miskey. And Greb is there to push his speed a bit. Now Greb ascends into the ring on the first day of sparring to mix it up with the champ. Reporters are there. They know about Greb's remarks about being able to outpoint the champion. Well, they're there to find out. Greb moves very fast. He's throwing punches at odd angles. And Dempsey, slower, continually misses the Pittsburgh windmill. The windmill, who'd react with, light but effective counterpunches. The Pittsburgh Gazette-Times, naturally favoring its favorite son, did report what others verified, that this was no sparring match, but a real fight. And it said that Greb, weighing a little over the middleweight limit, 25 pounds less than Dempsey, 4 inches shorter in reach, about the same in height, gave Dempsey a boxing lesson, made him miss punches. He would hit almost at will against Dempsey with embarrassing counter punches. At one time, Greb jumps up, both feet off the floor, so he can strike Dempsey's head. Yet, as he comes down, he's able, albeit off balance, to miss being hit and counter the champion. Well, the next day, 2,000 reporters and fans are massed around the ring. They've heard what happened already, and they see when the sparring begins. Within a split second, Greb is all over Dempsey. He's forcing the champion up to standing, and both men are going at it furiously. In the second round, Dempsey is spitting blood. That's after his tongue was cut when the two hit heads. Dempsey's team is in a panic. They're calling for the crowd to stop cheering the men on, given the fact that the Miskey fight might be called off. But the action continues nonetheless during a third round. It is so action-filled that both Dempsey and Greb get a 10-minute ovation. The next day, 2,000 more fans and reporters show up for another session. But aside from a few moments of real fighting, both men treat the sparring as, just that. After all this, after Dempsey beats Miskey, Greb will continue to tell reporters that he would outpoint the champion in any bout, title or otherwise. The public, by the way, at least some of it, are clamoring for a Dempsey versus Greb fight, but it would never happen. Dempsey will go on to knock out Miskey in 2 rounds. He'll take on a few more challengers, Bill Brennan, who else? George Carpentier, Gibbons, Louis Angel Firpo, and he'll win all except one by knockout. Then he would lose twice to Gene Tunney, whose only loss as a pro Tony, was to Harry Greb. And that, boys and girls, is the story. Did you like it? If so, tap both the thumb up and bell icon, subscribe, share the video on social media. You know the drill. Thank you.